Hey lovelies, you're welcome back to Reviews and Recaps. Today we're going to be talking about Arionne, Original Straight No Chaser, Martell Holt, and a little bit about Carlos King. So if you're new to this channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, like this video, and share this video. And now let's get into it. A lot has happened in these YouTube streets by way of the Original Straight No Chaser uploading an audio of her talking to Arionne. Now, you know, on her channel, she tends to upload these sorts of videos of her conversation with Arionne. I personally don't understand. It almost seems like they're all in cahoots together. This is just in my opinion. There's no way of proving it, of course, because I just don't understand how it feels like Arionne doesn't really like troll Nay, for instance, for posting some of these things that she does. So I have to say it just feels like everyone is in cahoots. Just my opinion, like I said, don't hold it as gospel. Now, let's talk about some of the things that were said on there. Now, I am going to be very careful in the way in which I present this because of the sensitive nature of some of the things that were said. And for that reason, I'm not going to go into too much, but I'm going to talk about it from a different angle. Now, one of the things that Arionne was saying was talking about some childhood trauma that allegedly happened to Melody Shari. Now, there is no way of verifying whether this is true. I personally did not like the fact that it was not really said almost like an allegedly. No disclaimer was given. It just sort of felt like it was just handled anyhow, really, if we're being completely honest. I really did not appreciate that. I think this is something that is very, very horrible for someone to go through. Now, like I said, there's no way of verifying whether or not this is true, but to say that someone encounters such abuse as a child, one, it's not your place, if it is true, for you to be speaking on it. It is not your place. That's like, you know, it has happened to me in my personal experience when I was younger, and that's like a family member of mine or even a random person speaking on something like that has happened to me. That's disgusting. That is not your story to tell if it is the truth. And if it's not the truth, then there is no sensitivity behind you even putting that out there without flagging it up with disclaimers and hee ha ha and laughing about it. That's insane. This is something that affects the lives of so many people around. Even if it's not happened to you, it probably has happened to someone that you know. I would be shocked if it's not happened to someone that you know. And so for you to be saying and putting things like that out there, that is absolutely disgusting. And to go as far as saying that her mother didn't believe her, how do you know? Were you there? The only person that can speak on whether or not this is true is Melody, and you have no business putting that out there in that way. It's her story to tell if it actually happened to her. This is my problem with a lot of pick-me's, right? A lot of pick-me's will tell you that, well, what does it have to do with Martell? It has everything to do with Martell. This is Martell's side chick, woman, whatever you want to call her, that continues to have Melody's name in her mouth. For those of you who like to support Martell, think about it. Where on earth would Arionne have heard that from? That, in my opinion, came directly from the mouth of Mr. Martell Holt. This is in my opinion, right? Where else is she going to get that information from? What it sounds like is, now I'm just saying if this is true, I'm not saying that it is, but if in fact there was a conversation between Mel and her husband, how are you if you're not a disgusting, low-life, unhinged fool, why would you share something so personal with your side chick about your wife? Ex-wife now, but what I'm saying is about someone who was your wife at any point. That is a very disgusting, despicable thing to do. Like, you are the scum of the earth to go that far. And Arionne is equally the scum of the earth for repeating such ish. And then to have the audacity to laugh about someone's misfortune, to laugh about something that's happened to someone, is beyond disgusting to me. And I recall Queen Sheba Darling saying something on her channel some time ago about how the cast were conspiring. So Of course, this is my recollection. I may be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the chat. But I think there was something along those lines that she mentioned. And I remember thinking, yes, I'm not surprised, because it almost feels like these people are always trying to bring Melody down in some way. You may be wondering why I decided to put Carlos King on this thumbnail. I'll tell you why. Carlos has been complacent in this horrific behavior. He's either been complacent or he's actually facilitating this nonsense in some way. We've seen different things that Martell has done so far. We've seen it all. Yet, Martell is never held accountable for what he has done and continues to do. That is beyond insane to me. Like, how is it that you have all this sympathy for other people? You even was on the show crying for Martell, talking about the way he's behaving and stuff, but you have no sympathy for a woman who is having to deal with this level of harassment from Martell. When is it going to stop? When is enough going to be enough? And I know people like to give Carlos grace and all of that, but I don't feel like on this occasion he needs the grace. What he needs is to be called out. There needs to be accountability, because in all of his shows, I have never seen him protect women. He does not protect women. Think about how he made fun of Sweet Tea. Is that somebody who women should be supporting? Think about how much power we have as women, as individuals, as people who watch the show, right? Like, think about how people dragged him for what he said about Sweet Tea. And think about the fact that he had to take it down and apologize. Imagine a lot of us Love and Marriage Huntsville fans were united about this sort of nonsense that Martell has been doing. Don't you think we would have been able to have Martell off the show with all his antics? But the problem is people let their feelings for Melody. You may not like Melody, you may not like what she stands for, but right is right and wrong is wrong. Okay, so let's not start making things that are wrong right because we like the person in question. If it was any of the Scots, no matter how we've talked about them on this channel, if it was any of the Scots and this was happening to them, I will be the first person to come out here and defend and talk about it based on the same way. It has nothing to do with because it's Melody. I'm here to give my feedback on what is happening. And this is my feedback on what is happening, irrespective of who is involved. My answer, my response, my opinion will still be the same. Now, that's all I have to talk to you guys about today. I'm really upset. I'm really frustrated for a number of reasons. And ultimately, it's because of the fact that people like Arionne, people like Martell, people like Carlos King continue to do things and then try to hide their hands or be complacent in things and say nothing when things like this should be called out. And it's funny, like, people say, oh, the mellometers do too much, but think about it, the people on the show don't do enough. People like Carlos don't do enough. That's why the mellometers are there. That's why the mellometers are always wondering and always trying to protect Mel, because no one else does. So let's call it out for what it is. Anyways, if you come to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching until the end. Please let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It is something that's really disturbed me. Let me know in the comment section below what you guys thought of this. And make sure you like, please share, and make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you later. Thank you. Bye.